When you're working on complex code bases and want to understand a piece of code, you often go through it line by line. But core business logic generally calls a lot of functions, which call even more functions. It is hard to keep track, and you get lost into the details while exploring this web of connections. So let's say if I want to understand this, I would go through the code and I would have to understand this function. But this calls even more functions. And while doing this, we lose context. We struggle to focus on what's important and even forget what we are looking for. This increases cognitive load and decreases your productivity. To address this problem, we have made call trace. You can select a function and run call trace on it, and it will give you this graph. So the nodes in this graph is your actual code. You can click on it to open it in your editor, and the labels are the line numbers where it calls it, and these are more functions that the original function is calling. And then you can, so say if I'm understanding this function, I can expand it and see all the other functions that it is calling. So I can open this on one window and use this to guide my exploration. And this will allow me to manage context in my head, and it will help me know what all have I already checked, what all am I yet to check, and so on. This is also a complete game changer when you're adding a functionality to an existing feature which spans across like multiple functions and files. What you can do is figure out the starting point and run call trace on that, and you can select the whole chain. So this is the entire graph of the function I had selected, and say if I want to make a change in this chain, I can shift select the functions and copy context and then give it to an LLM so that it knows exactly where the changes have to be made, and you're not providing it with more context, which will make it hallucinate. Hi, I am Mohit, and at Lumyst we make developer tools that optimize human in the loop. We make it easier for developers to work with and understand complex code bases while reducing their cognitive load and increasing productivity. Okay, so I have the extension installed here, and you can start by selecting the code that you want to analyze and then hit run analysis. I have already generated one. I'll show you what it looks like. So this graph basically explains the code base precisely. So there are three levels of nodes here: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 are the ones on the top. These basically divide the code base into high level architectural functionality. Level 2 nodes go deeper into each one of them and localize individual functionality within these. And then these are the actual code nodes related to this. And we have an explanation side panel which basically tells you all about them, how it relates to like other parts of the code bases, and how does it all fit in together. Now to take you through this, we offer a feature called Code Tour. This basically builds the graph gradually and walks you through it step by step. It is similar to a senior dev whiteboarding stuff to you. On the side panel, you can read all the explanation, and when the code appears, you can read the code. With this approach, you can understand the codebase's structure and its functionality without wasting any time.